All right, so we are on our way. This is our first stop of the day of our Rambler tour. My wife and I are taking a little time off to celebrate a pretty important wedding anniversary, and we thought we'd give the Rambler a run. It's all cleaned up. It's got just turned over 40,000 miles. What did it say there? 40,091 miles. So we're going to drive it north to Seattle and just see what the day brings. I think we're going to have some pretty exciting things to post about. It's going to be kind of a car weekend. Hint, hint. All right, so our first stop of our tour is in the beautiful port city of Kalama, right on the Columbia River, and we got the Rambler. And what do we got the mileage here? I think we put about 100 miles. Not many. Yeah, about 100. It's got 40,126. I gotta get a sweatshirt for the wifey, make her feel warm while we have some lunch. All right, so our next stop, we are in Rainier, Washington. I just filled up the Rambler. You can pump your own gas in Washington. It's pretty great, but the price is not so great. Look at the price on the gas. Yikes, that's a lot. So we've put a couple hundred miles on the car, and we're gonna keep going. Where are we gonna go? Does anybody know? I gotta put my gas cap back on. I think I got a little on there. All right, so we've completed the first part of our journey. We are at the LeMay Marymount Car Museum, just out of Roy, Washington, and there are buildings and buildings and buildings and buildings full of cool cars. In fact, I can see right there a DKW Schnell Laster next to that Corvair powered motorhome. There's a lot of cool stuff. Unfortunately, there's a funeral here today and we're not allowed to look at anything. So I'm just going to pan around really quick. It's a very beautiful campus. It's a bummer we drove so far and not be able to see the cars, but that's the way it is. I understand. Anyhow, this is the campus of the Marymount Family Museum. There's logging equipment and trains all over the place. It's really pretty cool. It's a beautiful day. It's a bummer, but we'll saunter on and make do with what we got. Love to go check out all those cars over there. A lot of cool ones. Let's ramble on. All right, so we arrived in Seattle. We stayed in a little town called Beacon Hill, or a little suburb. Is it a suburb or neighborhood of Seattle? Very steep hills. I gotta change lanes here. And my wife is looking very good this morning after a good night's sleep. It's been fun driving the Rambler. We've got 300 miles or so. Seems like we went 300 miles since yesterday. I don't know if that's the case, but it's been seemed like a long drive. We took the windy route. We're headed into downtown for some breakfast. All right, so we made our way to breakfast. I can count on one finger, well, one hand with about 2 fingers, how many times the old Rambler has been in a parking garage in a metropolitan area. This is like the second or third time. So we're on our way to breakfast, and the Rambler got a good workout yesterday. There was a hill in the Beacon Hill neighborhood that I couldn't hardly make it up. I burnt the clutch. And then I also rubbed my white wall. I scuffed it on a curb. So after 25 years of ownership, I've scuffed the curb one time. I guess that's not too bad. All right, let's go have breakfast, and hopefully our car will still be here when we get back. All right, so we had a lot of fun with our friends in Seattle. We stayed the night, and it thundered and lightning last night like crazy. We were gonna have an outside barbecue. We're getting ready to ramble on back to Portland. Who knows what the day will bring, but hopefully it won't be quite so rainy. Although the Rambler seems to shed the rain all right with its vacuum wipers. We'll see how those work. All right, so we're headed home in the Rambler. Got my happy wife by my side. I'm going to demonstrate the vacuum wipers. Look at that. They wipe pretty good. See, the more I press on the gas, though, the slower they go. They're controlled by engine vacuum. Turn them off. Kind of just settle down. They work pretty well, as long as you're not going up a hill. All right, so we just had a nice, tasty breakfast, and it looks like my wife is full. Are you full? Oh yeah, she's full. And we happen to park by this house full of beautiful dahlias. Look at the size of this one. This is my hand. That's my hand compared to dahlias. Huge, gorgeous yard of dahlias. And what could be better than a whole yard full of dahlias than a beautiful classic Rambler? Let's go get some fuel. Fuel up the Rambler, fuel up our tummies. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so we just filled the tank of the Rambler for our way home. It is a little difficult. This fuel neck is really hard not to spill fuel. I put in 12 gallons. I think it holds about 14. And the car seems to be getting about 22, 23 miles per gallon. It gets better on the highway, of course, about 27. And in town, it seems like it gets 21 or 22. So we're doing good, still running good. And gas is much cheaper here in Tacoma than it has been anywhere else on our trip. We paid almost 75 cents a gallon more in Rainier, Washington, the day before yesterday. All right, let's continue. Do I look handsome?
You look very handsome.
What am I doing?
Driving the Rambler, going down I-5. Who's this ahead of us?
I think it's a Falcon.
Falcon, do you know what year?
I'm going to say early 60s.
Should we drag race?
Yeah, it is a Falcon. I'm going to say 55. It's probably a 60. Should I go get him?
No.
He thinks we're just as odd as him. That's funny.
Everybody's looking at us. What is that? Yeah, it gave me the peace sign.
Oh, it's always like that. That's pretty cool.
And then there's that.
Crazy cars out there. It is starting to rain again. We have to turn on our wipers. What's really neat about the vacuum wipers is you can turn them on as fast or as slow as you want them to be. Kind of like intermittent wipers. Let's see if I can turn them on a little slower. There we go. They're slowly, 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 and I'll turn them off. There we go. All right, so we made it home in the Rambler. We put about 500 miles on the old girl this weekend. It's nice to know we could hop in the car and just go. Got to unload and get, oh boy, who's there? Who's there? Who missed me? Sit. Good girl. I guess we're home now. Stay.